America is now um, a third world dictatorship, and the GOP mirrors Trump tactics, and they deny reverse an attack. In a blizzard of nearly identical tweets, Republicans accuse and threaten Alvin Bragg, even though a few have gone rogue. Um, Former squatter Donald Trump was charged with 34 counts of felony fraud Tuesday in Manhattan over the alleged falsification of business records relating to his 2016 hush money payments to former porn star Stormy Daniels, as well as other attempts to suppress news about possible scandals. Now, Trump, of course, would plead not guilty, becoming the first former squatter to be charged with any crime. Almost as soon as Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office published the indictment on Tuesday afternoon, Republicans in the House and Senate began releasing statements in lockstep sentiment. Most followed near identical language, giving the public a blueprint for the GOP's public relations strategy, which their strategy is deny, attack, and reverse. Now, Bragg alleges that Trump attempted to interfere in the election by using hush money to keep the public from finding out potentially damaging facts about him during his campaign. Republicans are seeking to reverse that charge, accusing Bragg of interfering with the upcoming election by potentially targeting Trump, which is not the case. After that, the GOP counterattacks moved to accuse Bragg of jurisdictional overreach, threatening the Manhattan DA's office with congressional investigation. Although there is little federal legislators can, there's there, although there is little that federal legislators can do against state or county prosecutors. Um, um, Now, Senator Tom Tillis, who's a Republican in North Carolina, was the first out of the gate with a statement on Trump's indictment. Basically, Tillis said, "It's clear that this is a politically motivated prosecution against Trump." No, it's not. The DOJ previously looked at the facts and decided there was no case to pursue, and that's not even the case. Um, in fact, Bragg Curley stated in his Tuesday press conference that he now has additional evidence that was not in the officer's possession prior to his time there, and this includes new witness material statements. Now, Tillis further suggested that members of Congress should use their authority to target Bragg. Congress has every right to demand answers and accountability from the Manhattan DA's office, especially as this directly relates to federal law, he said in the statement. I don't even think you know what you're talking about, dumbass. That suggestion was clearly in step with signals from the overwhelmingly pro-Trump House GOP. In a notable moment of irony, Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who's from California, accused Bragg of attempting to manipulate the outcome of an election, which he's done nothing of the sort. Um, Now, Bragg's weaponization of the federal justice process will be held accountable by Congress. Yeah, I doubt that's even going to be likely, because McCarthy tweeted on Tuesday he appointed reference to the House's new government weaponization committee. Alvin Bragg is attempting to, basically, they're claiming that he's attempting to interfere in the democratic process by invoking federal law to bring politicized charges against Trump. Technically, Trump is actually committed charges, so he's not being so this is nothing to do with political or anything like that. Now, while at the same time arguing that the people's representatives in Congress lack jurisdiction to investigate this farce, technically it's not a farce. Um, Given a deadlocked Congress with Democrats holding a narrow Senate majority and the chaotic and ineffective nature of the House under McCarthy, the lower chambers investigation committees are unlikely to threaten Bragg's ability to prosecute in any case. Now, Republicans nonetheless lined up metaphorically to issue roll call statements attacking Bragg. The Punchbowl News Max Cohen had nabbed quotes from at least 3 different GOP members in a series of tweets from Senator Marsha Blackburn, who's from Tennessee, Eric Burleson, who's from Missouri, and Representative Nicole Maliotakis from New York, who all used near identical language to accuse Bragg of staging a political prosecution, which, like I said, this is nothing political. Maliotakis, who represents portions of Brooklyn and Staten Island, where Trump hopes that his trial can be held, called for Bragg to be fired, which Bragg is doing his job, so he's not going to be fired. It took a few hours, but the GOP's official Twitter account finally caught up with the newly issued strategy and aped the language, decrying political prosecution, which is nothing of the sort. Now, shortly after that, more Republican members began parodying the phrase in their respective online squawk boxes, like Senator Mike Liabuto, Representative Diana Harshbarger of Tennessee, and Representative Mary Miller of Millions, who last year praised the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision as a victory for white life when they overturned Roe v. Wade. Some, like Senator Marco Rubio from Florida, once upon a time a 2016 primary rival of Trump's, brought the talking points to life in a video monologue. People see this for what it really is. It's political. No, it's not, Rubio said in a tweeted speech. Now, few tweets had quite the maniac fervor of the one posted by Representative Randy Jackson of Texas, who was the subject of numerous allegations of misconduct and mismanagement in his previous year in his previous career as a White House physician. While Jackson didn't echo the major GOP talking points, his tweets reached a level of hysteria suggestive of the former squatter. America is very rapidly turning into a third world dictatorship. Oh yeah, because Trump calls that. Jackson wrote, Democrats want to arrest and imprison anyone who opposes their corrupt regime. It's not just Trump that they're after. No, the Democrats want to imprison people who break the fucking law. Trump broke the fucking law. He needs to be imprisoned. So there's no reason for you to keep licking Trump's nuts. Another response that requires a bit of decoding is the tweet from Mercedes Schlapp, who's a former Trump advisor, whose husband, Matt Schlapp, who's the head of CPAC and chair of the American Conservative Union, was recently accused of sexual assault by former strategist for Herschel Walker's Georgia Senate campaign. Mercedes Schlapp called the Trump indictment a wake-up call for many Republicans, suggesting that the GOP voters are on the fence about Trump in 2024, and they're realizing that they believe that the Democrats have gone too far, which they haven't. So if you like the video, you can get the video, like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. You can also hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube. And for just a little as a few bucks a video or a month, your donation can help go a long way. And also leave a comment and let me know what you think. And thanks for listening.